The world is far bigger than it seems, and human potential stretches far beyond what we expect. From individuals who rise through extreme challenges to minds that rival cutting-edge innovation, they push the boundaries of what we call normal. Curious to see what humans are truly capable of? Tap like if you believe in the strength of determination, and subscribe to explore the most fascinating facts about the human body today. In the heart of Northern Ireland, an invisible struggle unfolded within Dare's own body. A rare condition left his skull too restrictive, forcing a growing brain to contend with unyielding bone. More than 20 reconstructive surgeries became not just medical procedures, but bold attempts to give him space to live and grow. Each scar tells a story not of defeat, but of persistence, marking a journey where determination pushed back against daunting odds. What if your future depended on gaining just millimeters of space over years? Dare's journey isn't just a medical story. It's a long test of persistence where each surgery became a step toward possibility. His experience challenges a simple idea: pressure doesn't define you, how you respond to it does. From repeated trials came resilience, and from resilience a life reshaped on his own terms. It's a powerful reminder that even when limits appear, fixed determination can still carve out new paths forward. Ever struggled to find a pair of shoes that fits just right? Now imagine that challenge amplified to an entirely different scale. Brahim Takioullah, known for having one of the largest recorded foot sizes in the world, at size 58 turned something as simple as footwear into a rare logistical challenge. Recognized by Guinness World Records, his condition reflects acromegaly, a rare hormonal disorder that leads to excessive growth over time. His story highlights how human biology can sometimes move beyond the limits of standard design, turning everyday necessities into extraordinary puzzles that conventional manufacturing was never built to solve. Standing at 2.46 meters tall, Brahim Takioullah lives in a world that often feels built on a smaller scale than his own. Everyday environments, from door frames and vehicles to furniture designed for standard dimensions, can become unexpected obstacles that require constant adjustment and awareness. Yet instead of withdrawing, he embraces visibility with confidence, turning difference into identity rather than limitation. His story invites a broader reflection. Physical variation is not an error to be corrected, but a reminder of human diversity, showing how individuality can reshape perspectives and leave a lasting impression on how we understand normal. Beyond the record-setting figures, Brahim Takioullah's journey highlights resilience and adaptability in the face of constant practical challenges. What began as a medical condition has also become a platform for awareness, showing that a person's worth is not defined by how well they match predefined standards. His experiences reflect how individuals can navigate difference with confidence, turning obstacles into lived lessons about acceptance and endurance. More than just a physical distinction, his life story underscores a broader message about self-acceptance and the importance of respecting human diversity in all its forms. Manute Bol was not just a 7'7" NBA giant, but a rare example of selflessness beyond the game. Coming from Sudan during times of conflict, he later dedicated much of his resources and influence to humanitarian efforts for his homeland. His life shows that true stature is not defined by height or fame, but by the impact one chooses to make for others, and the courage to turn success into meaningful help. Abiodun Adegoke is not just a player, he is a rare athletic phenomenon that has captured global attention in basketball circles. Standing around 7'10", his extraordinary height allows him to execute plays that look almost unreal, including finishes at the rim with minimal vertical effort. What makes Abiodun truly remarkable is not only his towering frame, but also his surprising agility and speed, creating a combination that challenges typical expectations of how a body of his size should move on the court. Behind the viral clips is a story shaped by persistence in a challenging environment in Nigeria. With limited access to formal training and advanced medical support, Abiodun Adegoke turned obstacles into motivation, pushing himself to grow beyond social and structural barriers. His journey reflects more than a personal ambition for basketball success. It represents a broader message about resilience and determination. By continuing forward despite scarcity, he becomes a symbol of how strong commitment can transform difficult circumstances into momentum for change and possibility. Ring Awol Kan Malawatch. A 17-year-old standing 6 feet 11 is a powerful symbol of resilience emerging from a difficult backdrop in South Sudan to compete at the Olympic qualifiers. Growing up amid the hardships of conflict, he turned early adversity into motivation, pushing himself toward opportunities like the NBA Academy Africa and testing himself against seasoned athletes on the international stage. With impressive physical reach and developing game intelligence for his age, he represents more than athletic potential. He reflects a generation shaped by perseverance, showing how determination can transform even the harshest beginnings into forward momentum. Charles Suggley is not pursuing fame. He is navigating everyday life in a body that stands over 2 meters tall in the Volta region of Ghana. His exceptional height brings constant practical challenges, from finding suitable footwear to managing mobility in environments designed for average proportions. In his case, something as simple as wearing shoes can become difficult, often forcing him to rely on limited or improvised options that are not always comfortable or safe. His experience highlights how basic necessities like properly fitting clothing and access to specialized healthcare can become ongoing struggles for people with uncommon physical conditions, reminding us how much everyday life depends on inclusive design. Hussein Bad was once recognized as one of the tallest men in the world, standing at an extraordinary 2.33 meters due to acromegaly. His condition also contributed to unusually large hands, making him a medically remarkable case. Born in Somalia, he later fled the civil war and sought asylum in the UK, where he encountered new challenges, including limited mobility and periods of isolation. Over time, his health needs have required ongoing care and support. Despite these difficulties, his story is often remembered for his resilience and steady outlook, reflecting a quiet strength in the face of lifelong adversity. Hussein Bad is often remembered not only for his exceptional height, but also for the strength he showed while living with significant physical challenges that affected his mobility and daily life. His condition shaped many aspects of his experience, yet he is frequently associated with resilience, dignity, and the ability to endure hardship without losing a sense of self. Rather than being defined by limitations, his story is seen as an example of persistence and inner strength in the face of constant difficulty, reminding us that human value is often reflected in how a person responds to adversity. Asha Mandela does not wear a golden crown because her hair, spanning over 108 feet, stands as a rare and striking natural feature unlike anything seen in everyday life. For more than 4 decades, she has maintained hair longer than a city bus, turning it into a personal expression of identity, discipline, and spiritual meaning while moving beyond conventional beauty standards. To her, each strand represents more than appearance. It reflects continuity, commitment, and a deeply rooted sense of self, showing how individuality can be preserved and expressed in a way that challenges ordinary expectations. However, living in such an extraordinary way also brings significant physical strain, as the considerable weight of her hair places ongoing pressure on her neck and spine. While medical professionals have raised concerns about potential health impacts, Asha Mandela has continued to maintain her choice, emphasizing personal belief and identity in how she presents herself to the world. Her story is often viewed not only through the lens of an unusual record, but also as a reflection on commitment to self-expression, where what may be seen as a burden by others is interpreted by her as a meaningful part of personal strength and conviction. Master Ho is often described as a striking example of disciplined practice, known for demonstrating a one-finger Zen technique capable of breaking through tough surfaces like coconut shells using just his index finger. Rather than relying on natural talent, he is said to have spent decades refining his conditioning and control, gradually building strength, precision, and endurance through repeated training. His story is commonly used to illustrate the idea that highly unusual physical feats are developed over time through consistent effort, patience, and mental focus, reflecting how dedication can push perceived limits of human capability. Afiaoro is more than a name. He represents a rare example of how human biology can extend beyond typical expectations. Recognized as one of the tallest individuals in Nigeria at around 2.1 meters, his height is linked to an endocrine condition rather than ordinary growth patterns. During his adolescence, his body underwent unusual changes associated with acromegaly, a disorder caused by excess growth hormone which significantly altered his physical development. As a result, everyday life often requires extra adaptation, from navigating standard-sized spaces to managing clothing and mobility needs. His story is frequently referenced as a real-world illustration of how hormonal imbalances can reshape the human body in profound and lifelong ways. Afiaoro is more than just a name. He represents a rare example of how human biology can move beyond typical boundaries. Known as one of the tallest men in Nigeria at around 2.1 meters, his height is linked to an endocrine condition rather than ordinary growth. During adolescence, his body underwent unusual changes associated with acromegaly, a disorder involving excess growth hormone which significantly affected his physical development. As a result, everyday life often requires continuous adaptation, from moving through standard-sized spaces to managing specially tailored clothing and practical needs. His story is often viewed as a real-world illustration of how disruptions in hormonal regulation can profoundly influence human growth and long-term daily living. Dwangja Sam Maksham is described as someone whose physical condition makes everyday movement a constant interaction with gravity and physical constraints. Yet rather than allowing those challenges to define her life, she is focused on building independence and maintaining a sense of dignity in how she moves through the world. Her story is often framed as a reminder that resilience and determination can shape how a person experiences hardship, emphasizing that inner strength and self-direction play an important role in how individuals adapt to difficult physical realities. What if your own body felt like a moving cage, not to trap you, but to test what you're made of? For Vinicio Riva, each growth on his skin became more than a medical condition. It was a relentless challenge of endurance. Over time, he transformed hardship into a quiet kind of strength, showing that real power isn't about appearance, it grows from acceptance and self-respect. His journey is a striking reminder. Chasing surface perfection can distract us from what truly matters: a resilient, grounded spirit. In a world dazzled by spectacle, one simple touch can outweigh 1,000 polished words. When Vinicio Riva stepped into St. Peter's Square, people didn't just see illness, they were confronted with their own assumptions. Then a spiritual leader closed the gap with a single gesture, reshaping how the crowd saw him, no longer a figure of fear, but a symbol of empathy. It's a vivid reminder that stigma fades not through speeches, but through genuine acts of kindness, and that everyone deserves to be seen with dignity and care. At an astonishing height of 2.7 meters, Sulamana Abdul Sammed, often called Aw, is more than a spectacle. He's a living test of human resilience. Living with pituitary gigantism, a condition that pushes his body beyond typical limits, he meets each day with remarkable calm. His story flips the narrative true. Greatness isn't measured in centimeters, but in inner strength, the quiet power to shape your own path. Joyce Ado isn't just a name, she's a real-life reminder that normal is often a narrow frame we rarely question. With a body that defies everyday expectations, she moves through a world built for standard sizes where even simple spaces can become obstacles. A difficult hospital stay caused by her own proportions affecting her vision reveals a hard truth: being different can carry unexpected costs. Her story pushes us to rethink how society designs, includes, and supports people whose lives don't fit the usual mold. Pushing past physical limits and life-altering setbacks, Joyce Ado's story raises an uncomfortable question: has our world been built too narrowly? When spaces are designed for a single standard, those who don't fit it can be sidelined by default. Her journey isn't just about size, it's about determination. Navigating systems that were never meant to include her, it challenges us to think differently. Progress isn't real unless it makes room for everyone, turning empathy into action so no one is left out.